So we will continue. So today that tuple slicing. Okay, tuple slicing. You already know we need a slicing operator. Okay, so everyone you should remember about the slice operator. So slice operator means that is in the square bracket. Okay, in the square bracket you have to give three values. That is a start value, a stop value, and a step value. Okay, this is the thing you should always remember, because we are using this slicing in all the data types like string, list, tuple, and you can also use in a dictionary also. Okay, so slicing means getting a part of from the original data type, that is either in a string or list or tuple, you can get the part of the items. Okay, not the entire items, we can get the part. So you can specify the location from where we have to start and where we have to stop, and if you want to jump the values means you can specify that value in the step. Okay, understood everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So here you can see we already know the slicing in the previous thing, but here I show you some examples. So this is a tuple. Okay, if you give like this, print t of 2 is to 5. So 2 means that is a starting value. So 2 index represents which value, students?
C.
C. Okay, so it starts at a C. So I always told you, so this first value is start value, second value is the stop value. So how to get the output means, so you know, you already know the values. So 2 means you have to give some bar here. Okay, just to do some rough work. So put a line before 2. Okay, then 5 means the same manner you have to put the line before 5. So this is a 5, so give line before 5. Okay, so now your output is you have to write all these three, C, D, E. Understood everyone?
Yes,
Slicing. Okay, this is
sir.
the same thing
Sir.
you are doing in the string, list, and tuple. Okay, so slicing means this is not changing anything in the original value. Okay, it is just getting some part of values and it is displaying in the output. That's all. Okay, and you can also save this in another variable. Okay, you can get the part of string and you can store it in another tuple. Okay, so I will show you this in the example. So this is the tuple. So now what I am doing, I am going to get a tuple slice and I want to store it in another variable, and after that also you can display those variable. Okay, so now what I'm doing, so T of, I'm mentioning the slice operator. Okay, now tell me what is the output. Okay, 2 is to 7 is to 2. Okay, so now what is the value it's stored in the X, students?
For 4, 6, 8.
3, 4, 6.
3.
4, 8.
3,
Means now
5,
it will show 4. 4 will not
3,
come. So I
5.
given the
For
jump
3,
value.
5, 7.
Yes. So before answering, students, just to think and tell me. Okay. So it will get the values like second position, that is 3. Okay. Then last stop value is 7, means it will show up to 6. Okay. Which value is 6? So 3 is 2, then 3, 4, 5, 6. So up to 7 it will show, and it will jump from 3. Okay. So 3 to 5, 5 to 7. Okay. So it will show 3, 5, 7. It will be stored in the variable X. Okay, then after that I am printing this, that X. Okay, this is also possible. You can straight away display the variable, and you can get that string tuple slice and store in another variable. So if you do like this means it created a new variable. So you can use this x whenever you need in the future of the program. Okay, understood?
Yes, sir.
So now I
Yes,
want
sir.
to execute this. You can
Yes,
see
sir.
here, students. So it created the tuple. The next line you see again it given a tuple slicing. So don't get any confused that what is the data type of the x. Okay, you can see here this is also tuple. Okay, t also tuple and x also tuple. Okay, then you can display the output. See the output, new x equal to 357. Okay, so it is showing like a tuple. Okay, so you can see the bracket that you're using, that is a rounded bracket, that is parenthesis. So what is the statement if you need to display as a list? Students, this is the statement to get the tuple slicing. Okay, so now tell me, I want to change this x as a list.
List of X.
List of x. Okay, so see here in the print statement itself I am converting. Okay, so previously you showed in the output, right? It displayed like rounded bracket, okay, in the output. Okay, now it will show, see here, tuple. The next step, see it converted. This is a tuple, but here is the output, you see it is showing in a square bracket. Okay, in output only I am converting that tuple as a list. Understood everyone? Okay, so
sir.
kindly
Yes, sir.
understand the
Yes, sir.
question, because sometimes they will include these kind of statements in the question. So understand the question. Okay, sometimes they will ask, want to display the tuple slicing as a list of items. Okay, so kindly think and answer. Okay, then changing the tuple items. Can we change the items or not, students? Tuple,
No, sir.
No, sir.
yes,
Yeah,
It is
tuple is a
immutable.
immutable, so you cannot
Immutable.
change. Okay, so tuples are immutable. Once a tuple is created, it cannot be modified. Okay, if you do means it will show an error, type error. Tuple object does not support item assignment. Okay, understood everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
tuples are immutable, but tuples are immutable only on the top level. Okay, top level means we know that nested tuple, right? Students, everyone know nested tuple, right? So for example,
Yes.
you can see
Yes, sir.
this is a nested tuple. Okay, you can see the example. So in the next level, so 1 2 3, then the fourth item is 4 5 6, then fifth one is 7, sixth item is 8. Okay, so only top level we are having 6 items. Okay, but next level is considered as that 4 5 6. Okay, nested tuple having inside on list. Okay, that list is a mutable property, so you can change the values present in the list. Understood everyone?
Yes, sir.
Cannot change the values present in the top level, but you can change the values present in the next level. Understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, see here, so it directly referring to this tuple. No, this is called top level. Okay, you cannot change anything in the tuple, this, but this is the next level item. Okay, so next level you can change the values, and depending upon the mutability. Okay, if you having tuple of tuple, okay, instead of this list you are having tuple, means anyway the tuple is immutable, you cannot change in the next level also, but list is mutable property, here you can change. Understood everyone? So see, now I
Yes,
will
sir.
show the program t of. So how to access the 5, students? I want to change that 5 as a hello. Okay, what is the location for 5?
4 1
3, 5.
Three
Three
is
of-
the location to access the list.
3, 1.
3, 1, not comma.
3, 1.
of 1. Don't say comma.
3 of 1.
3 of 1. Okay. Then here I want to give the another value. So instead of 5, I want to change it as a string hello. Okay. So now I want to print the T means it will display the updated tuple. Okay. It will update the value of the 5. That is the next level item. Okay. So see here. You can see here, this is the item 3, 1. Okay. So already it having 5. So now I want to change that 5 as a hello. Okay. So see here, I execute after execution of the third step. See, the 5 is updated. Understood, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So why I am saying this in the example means, so during exam, sometimes they will ask, what is the output of this program? Okay. And they will give some statements that this is an immutable property, and they will make you to confuse. But you think line by line, okay, that time you have to act as a yourself as a ideally software. Okay, so you have to compile every line. Okay, what is the output of every line's execution? Okay, because the tuple is immutable only on the top level. Okay, this is a deeper property, so it is changing the values present in the next level. So if you execute the last step, it will display the updated tuple. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, hello, 6, 7, 8. Students, understood, everyone? Any doubts?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Yes. Okay, these are the things you can write in the classwork note. So if they're simply asking the tuple is changeable or not, means you can say it is unchangeable because of immutability. Okay, but if they give the programs like this, what is the output for this one? Like if you are accessing the next level item by mentioning this kind of address, means you kindly go through the program carefully. Okay, line by line execution and give the address value and what is the type. Okay, so if it is a tuple, means if this list is changed as a tuple, means then you cannot change any item present in the next level also. Okay, because tuple itself naturally that is immutable, either it in a top level or bottom level or any level, tuple is immutable. Okay, but list is mutable in any level. Okay, so you can convert, you can change, you can update. Understood, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes, kindly note down these things. These are very important. Okay, so that is what they explained here. Then deleting a tuple also not possible. Tuples cannot be modified. So obviously you cannot delete an item. Okay, any item. But that is possible that you can delete the entire tuple. Okay, entire tuple can be deleted by using this keyword. Del T means this entire tuple will be deleted. All the items and the variable also deleted. Okay, but you cannot delete the single item. Understood? So only one function is del keyword. Del T. Okay, you can delete the entire tuple. You cannot access the tuple after that. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So then tuple concatenation and repetition. This can be done only by the means of creating the tuple. Okay. After creating, you cannot concatenate in the same variable. Okay, but during the creation, okay, this is the creation. The first step itself, they are concatenating the two tuples. Okay, after doing the concatenation, it is stored in this variable. Okay, so concatenation operator everyone know, that is a plus operator. Okay, already we saw this concept in the list. Okay, under replication. Students understood replication and concatenation?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So kindly note down, because sometimes they will ask what is the difference between concatenation and repetition in tuple and list. Okay, there is no difference. both will show the same kind of answer, but the only difference is that bracket type. Okay, here it is showing as a parenthesis. In a list it will display square bracket, that's all. Okay, noted.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Then finding the tuple length. So tuple length means, length means number of items present in the tuple. Okay, so how to find means by using len function. Okay, this is a function common for all the data types. Okay, all the sequence means there is a more than one item or one character. Okay, so this is a function you can use in the string, list, tuple, dictionary, everything. Okay, so number of items in the tuple is called tuple length. Okay, understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then checking the existence, this is the same concept we used in the list also. So how to check whether the particular value is present in our tuple or not? Okay, you can use membership operators, that is in operator and not in operator. Okay, so what is the output of this operator means, if the particular value present in the tuple means it will return true. Okay, if not present means it will return false. Okay, but in the not in operator, that is opposite. Okay, if it checks for unavailability. Okay, if not present in the tuple means it will return true. Okay, if it present means it will display false. Students, understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, in operator and not in operator. Okay, so kindly remember these two things. Okay, so students, you can write down these things. In operator, if it present means it will display true. Okay, in operator, if the value is absent means it will return false. Okay, but in not in operator, if it present means it will return false. Unavailability. Okay, it should be not available at the particular list or tuple. Okay, if it absent only it will return true. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so kindly note down these things. These are very, very important. So these things, this kind of table, this kind of things will help you to understand very easily. Okay, so you write down these things. Everyone noted?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Okay, then iterating through a tuple. Okay, iterating or traversing, so everything we already saw in the string and list. Okay, so if you're having sequence of items, if you want to access every item from the tuple means you can use this iterating. Okay, how to access every item from the tuple means you can use for loop. Okay, so every time it will display one item from the original tuple. Okay, so for every iteration, for every loop, it will display one item from the tuple. Okay, so see here, for example, this is the tuple. Okay, the previous example I already used it now. So by using for loop, for item in t, so t is a tuple. So here this entire tuple will come here, and by using for loop we can process every item. Okay, every item in a every loop. Okay, so it will continue up to the last item. Okay, each loop it will process one item. First time 1, second time 2, third time 3, like this. Fourth time this list entirely will display. Next it will display 7, then finally 8. After completing all the items, that loop will end. Okay, so I will show you the output. So this is a tuple. So for loop. Okay, see, first item item value will be 1 first time. This value comes from here. Okay, so it will display 1. Next time it will display 2. That is items from the tuple. Everyone understood or not? The next time, see, next time this item referencing this next level list. Students understood or not? It not storing the
Yes, sir.
sub list. Okay, it is just referencing the value. Okay, exactly, it will display because of immutability. Okay, so kindly understand these things. So next time it will display the item value will be 7. Okay, next time 8. Okay, so that's all, we completed all the values. So see, 6 times that loop executed and it prints all the 6 items. Okay, so after that finally the loop end. That's all. Okay, this is called a tuple iteration or tuple traversing. Okay, the meaning is we want to access the every item from the tuple, means we can use this method, iterating through a tuple. It will process every item from the tuple. Okay, any doubts?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
Yes, so students, right? Okay, this is very, very important concept, because by using this traversing only we can process every item. Okay, we already saw many programs in the list also. Okay, then tuple sorting. Tuple sorting will given by one function called sorted function. So sorting, everyone know, that is arranging in ascending order or descending order. Okay, so this is a function, automatically it will sort everything in ascending order. Okay, normally it is in ascending order. That is for example, if you take a string, means it will display in alphabetical order, that is A to Z. Okay, if it is in numbers, means it will display in the ascending order, that is the smallest numbers to greatest numbers. Understood, everyone? Sorted function.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes. One more thing is that is a sort function. This we already saw in the list. Okay, what here is, first they are converting this tuple into list, then they are sorting the values. Okay, because a tuple you cannot sort the list, sort the items, because of immutability. You cannot change the items present in particular location to any other location. So first of all, you should convert this tuple into list, then you can sort. Okay, because the list items will be sorted because of mutability. Okay, we can change items in any location. Okay, after doing that sorting, again they are converting that particular list into tuple again. Okay, this is second method. Students understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Two
yes,
methods
sir.
are there. Okay, here you can see only 2 lines. This is used because of a sorted function, but here they are using by the help of list. Okay, list acting as an intermediate, and they are using another variable. Okay, so that's all, we completed all the concepts. Now we are going to see some functions. Okay, see here, we completed all the concepts. Okay, so if you want to study, means you have to study by these kind of concepts. Okay, so what is meant by tuple packing, unpacking, because the questions will come like this. Okay, explain the concept of packing, unpacking, how to delete a tuple, not a delete item. Okay, that is not possible, you can delete the tuple. Okay, how to find the length of the tuple. Okay, like this, if you have to study by the topic. Okay, so there they explained with some example also. So every time you are writing in the exam, you should mention the example. Okay, without example, the programming language cannot give marks for you. Okay, you cannot explain those concepts without any single example. Understood? Even a tuple slicing also, you should give some example with the slice operator. Everyone understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So theory concepts only you can explain by some statements. Okay, but for programming language, I need a example. Okay, otherwise your mark will get reduced. Okay. So then some of the functions we are going to see. So count function and the index function. Count, index, everything we already saw in the list. Okay, anyway, I will show you now. Count function. So what is the output of count function? Students, we can count the items. There is a number of times it occurred in the, okay, count the number of occurrences of a particular item. Okay, so tuple dot count of item. This is the syntax. In this item, you can mention any item value. Okay, it will check in the particular tuple and it will return the number of occurrences of particular item. See here, this is a tuple. Here they are counting the value 9. Okay, so now see how many times the 9 is present.
3.
1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 times present. So the answer is 3. Okay, it counting the occurrences of particular item. Okay, that is the usage of count function. Understood, pa, students?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So today we will see all the functions.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so from tomorrow we will go with the programs. Okay, so kindly carefully listen me. Then the index function. Index function which searches the item and returns you the location of the item if it is present. Okay, if not present means it will produce an error. Okay, see item value and you can mention the position, that is where we want to search. There is a starting position and the ending position. Okay, there we have 3 methods. See here, this thing we will see. Okay, so this is the example tuple. Okay, here the index of C. So index of C, see in the example we having 2C. Okay, in the tuple. So now what is the answer, students? What is the index of C?
2, sir.
Yes,
2, sir.
it will return the
True, sir.
first occurred index. Okay, this is the first occurrence. So it will return the index of this item. So the index is, you have to count the value. So 0, 1, 2. The 2 is the position. So it returns answer 2. Okay. But this is the next method. You can see here index of C comma 5. C comma 5 means here 5 represents the starting position. Okay, so you have to start search from the 5th location. Okay, so now again you are having 2 items. Now tell me what is the answer. Students, it will start searching from the 5th location. So 5th location
Three.
means this is a 5. So it will start from here. Okay, so definitely it will display the location of this C. Okay, so the answer is 8. Understood, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So in this example, we didn't give any location where to stop or where to start. So it checks in the entire tuple. Okay, but in the second example, we are given the starting position to search. Okay, so it will start the search from the 5th position. Okay, and the third example, you can see we can give the start value and the stop value like this one, C comma 5 comma 10. C is the searched item and 5 and 10 are the starting location and the stop location. So starting location means 5, that is here, and the ending position 10 means it will stop at here. So it will search in between these values and it will return the found item. Okay, so see, C is present. Students understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So there are 3 different methods are there. So you can use any method depending upon your requirement. Okay. So see here the next one, index of X. So they are searching another value, but that value is not present in the tuple. Okay. So it produces an error called value error. Tuple index X not in the tuple. Okay. It's producing an error. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So everyone understand these concepts. These are very, very important. Okay. And also we are having a lot of functions. This thing we already know. Length function everyone know. Max function to return the maximum value of the tuple. Okay. That is all the values should be numbers or strings. Okay. Then only this will function. Minimum function will return the smallest value present in the tuple. Okay. Sorted function we already saw. Sum function. Okay. This also will work only for numbers. It will return the total of the entire tuple. Okay. Then tuple function is there. Tuple function is used to convert any data type to tuple. Students, everyone understood all the functions? You already saw these things in the list, string, everything, right? So kindly practice everything, and from next class we will see programs related to tuple. Students, any doubts?
No, sir.